A fortune won and lost on every deal. All you need is a strong heart and a nerve of steel. Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing, Season 26, Race 9 in. We are, of course, at the Las Vegas Strip Circuit. Sin City itself. Frank Sinatra, Celine Dion, David Copperfield, Donny Osmond, Blue Man Group. Lights Out League Racing. What have we all got in common? We're putting on a show for you. And I was going to make a little quip about 13 drivers, lucky for some, but we've actually got 14. We're just waiting for one more to rejoin for quali. And yeah, we are on race 9 out of 12 for this season. Last week was an absolute stormer in Brazil, where Callum ended up with the win after a few penalties and steward decisions, taking that top step. Picnic taking P2, and Theo, who's in that second Haas, having an absolute blinder of a debut. A couple of other debutants today. We've got Ryan McLean in the Ferrari. We've got Phil Skills in the RB, and we've got another Ryan. I'll call him TTB, so don't get confused, in the second Mercedes. And I don't know. I think there's quite a few quick drivers. You can see Ryan and TTB and Marty are both doing a run on the mediums. And who's doing the run first? Here's Callum, and we'll do the ever popular first flying lap of quali. Hot lap run through as he goes over the start finish line, down to turn 1 and 2, which is 180 left-hander past the set of apartments where you want a nice smooth motion out to in, and the same again for 3 and 4 as we back on ourselves round Rochelle Avenue onto the DRS zone, down Coral Lane, where we see 1 or 2 overtakes on the entrance to turn 5 onto Westchester Drive. Rode a little bit too much of the curve there, a little bend round turn 6 as you get to this tight chicane turn 7 and 8, passing the MSP sphere, where you might see my big face on there. Tight left-hander of turn 9, where you're going to go out and in, get good traction off the exit under the elevated monorail, down the soft right-hander of turn 10 round Sounds Avenue. It'll be difficult to do an overtake there as we head to turn 12. The tight left-handers, you want great traction off the exit as we go down the long 1.9 kilometre in quotation mark straight, where the long DRS zone will be the main overtaking area of the track, passing the Mirage, Caesar's Palace, Bellagio Fountains and the Flamingo. And I think 1 or 2 drivers will have their setup designed for this part of the track. Turn 14, 15 and 16, triple chicane past Planet Hollywood as we go down to the final corner of the track, down Harmon Avenue, down to turn 17, where I've seen 1 or 2 close calls to the line. Callum does cross the line and goes 1:30.4 for his first flying lap. Theo follows behind, and just behind on a 35. 1 or 2, I think some drivers are just starting their hot laps. Let's see what Catanese is doing. Looks like he's on his hot lap for now. Armadillo 38, Cat's got 31.4. Catanese just behind his teammate at 32.2. It's a bit slow there from him. He's sandbagging a little bit. Katz comes in with a 32.3. Terry's Reds up to P5 provisionally with a 31.6. Phil Skills up next across the line. Can he get himself near the top? Dan Morris doing a run out on the Inters, so getting himself a little bank like Phil Skills. Currently provisionally P4 with a 30.9. And TTV has invalidated, so he's going to have to go again, doing those runs on medium, so he's potentially fueled up higher than normal. Yeah, Dan's doing a run on intermediate, so I've seen this quite a few times where a driver do a run on intermediate or wets when it's dry, so they can set themselves a bank of time, and it gives them a delta to aim for, which I kind of do myself. I do a slower first lap on quali, and then it just makes less pressure on that second run out. So a bit of tactical play there from Dan, and also saving himself a set of softs for the race. The same thoughts as TTV and Marty. As Marty crosses the line, and currently P10 with a 32.3, just 200ths behind Cats. Ryan McLean getting himself up to P3. TTV's invalidated again. Not going to help him at all. He's pushing hard. Everyone's thinking Callum's first lap's a bit tasty. He of course has had quite a few poles the last couple of races. So see, everyone else is jumping in. Marty's invalidated. I think he'll be doing another flying lap. Caps lock. On his way back into the pits. He'll be down 2/10. Let me see if I can invite you, mate. 1 second. It's the lobby's set to invite only, so it's probably why you can't join. But I'll see if I can. There you go. Sent you an invite. Can't multitask. I'm a male. I like to think so. Metal Mike still to settle lap, but he's on his first flying lap for now. Just under 11 minutes to go. Some drivers will be doing 2 laps. Some will be doing 3 hot laps. Nick has joined. Hopefully he can jump in on the quali session. Or it might just be the race. He should be able to join. As he comes down to turn 14. Takes that chicane nicely. That might join us this season. He's very much aware that he doesn't have the pace as some of the front runners, but he's a great driver to have on the grid. And the more you league race, the more practice you get in, the quicker you become. And he comes in with a 34.4 for his first fine lap. Marty going again just under 3/10 up on his current time, which would just get him into the 31, so up to P8. This race has been with us since 2023. Rejoined the calendar after its hiatus from 1982. It's on a 10-year contract, so it's quite a mixed feelings track. This one is, he does get himself up to P8 with a 31.9. Yeah, it's back on the grid in last held an F1 race in 1982, and that was also the time when we last had 3 US races and on the calendar, and we of course have them again with Miami and Texas. So yeah, Mark at P8 and Picnic has joined us, thankfully, and bang us 1 or 2 laps in. Let's have a look who's next flying round. So the McScadies are both a little bit behind. Now Mike set his time. The Haas boys are setting another flying lap. Will we see any team play and slipstreaming going on? So we'll stick with Casamese then, who generally has quite has his wings adjusted for high speeds, which will make him slow through the chicanes, and especially through sector 2. Comes round the triple chicane. Hopefully everyone will keep it out the walls. It's a tricky one where we've seen people trying to go through there too wide, and it's not the case. It's kind of like Castle section. As he comes round the final corner and gets himself up to P7 behind his teammate. Very good run out from him. It's Dan who sets his first time up to P9 with 31.6. Followed by Terry's, who gets himself up to P6 with 31 flat. Good time from Terry's. Mr. Saturday. That's right, TTV Ryan, either one. Comes for his first flying lap, managed to keep it within white lines this time. And goes up to P4 with a 36. Just behind Ryan McLean. So there's a bit of a idea of what the pace is looking like now. So Theo ahead of the two Hasses on this run now. Currently 30.5. Just needs another, just over a tenth to get himself onto provisional pole. Comes around the final corner and not quite there. Just a couple of tenths. Callum's had to go in the pits, so he's not going to improve. Made a bit of a mistake, I think. Ryan follows through as well, so he's made a bit of a mistake. He's not going to improve. Caps lock comes round down Harmon Avenue. I'm gonna walk down to Harmon Avenue. And it looks like he's going to improve. Does improve slightly. 31.2, just not enough to get himself up past Terry's. Armour D's invalidated, so he's looking to do another run if he's got the fuel in his tank. TTV's invalidated. He's going to look to go back in. 6 minutes left. We've got Marty and Phil Skills and Picnic coming out for their out laps. And we'll stay on with Picnic, who's doing his run on medium, so I suspect, I don't know if he'll have enough time to get back in and out again, so he might just be doing a couple of laps on the mediums. He'll have plenty of sets of tyres, soft tyres for the race. This of course is a night race, like we've had quite a few, as we've had loads more tracks appear from across the world. It makes sense for Vegas though. The later start is in line with a lot of other things that happen in Vegas, like the music shows I was mentioning earlier, boxing. Temperatures were a bit lower than the over 100 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. It's also an adequate time for the European audience. It's where the money is, and that does mean that you can have your dinner first before you watch it. Get that nom down you. It's of course a town of glitz. Well, town, it's a city, isn't it? Of glitz and glamour, and generally the F1 drivers pimp out their helmets, and I mean the one on their head, and make bespoke designs, and they then generally sell them off to charity. Oh, a little bit of drift, got caught on the curb off turn 14. It would have cost him a little bit of time, and he goes straight in the pit, so he is just doing a run out. He's going to be out and in. Get on those softs, so just having a bit of a feel. He's ahead. It's Phil Skills with Marty behind him, so this is going to potentially be Phil's last hot lap of the session. So he's just making the run down now, down the long 1.9 kilometre straight. He's a little bit slipstream from the Ferrari. He moves out of the way. DRS is open like a letterbox. You've got mail. Rides that curb a little bit too much. Nearly ended up in the wall, but managed to keep the back end. Might have cost him a little time, but we'll see. Currently P6. Can he improve on his time of a 30.9? He does up to provisional P3 with a 30.6. Marty's following round and stays P10 with 31.5. It improves by almost half a second, but isn't quite enough to get above Katami's. Metal Mike's invalidated straight in the pits. I think that'll be the end for him now. And McLean doing his final run. He's half a tenth to get himself up to P3. It's only a tenth or so, a couple of tenths behind pole. Let's see what he can do. As he comes around turn 9 and hits the wall. That won't do him any good. That won't do him any good at all. I think that's him out of the run for pole. Wah, wah, wow. Jump on with Mr. Terry's. Mr. Saturday. He's always so elegant. I mentioned earlier, he's like he's Mr. Saturday. He's always really elegant in qualifying. And when he goes to the race, sometimes he looks as elegant as a giraffe in high heels. sorry, I couldn't resist. They look to be getting the slipstream of the Haas ahead of him potentially. They're both coming out on their outlap. It was a little bit wide. Did he collide with the wall a little bit on turn 12? He does have a slipstream off the Haas. He'll move out the way. I think he'll glide past. The Haas needs to get out of the way. And it does. Terry will love that. Looked like he ran a little bit deep, but he's kept it going. And the Haas will be using a little bit of slipstream on the start of the lap. As Terry's comes round and crosses the line. And stays P7 for now. Dan's coming to do his hot lap. Amadi just under 2 tenths up on his time. And doesn't improve on P6, 30.7. The current championship leader, I think, potentially got it in the bag. It'd be difficult for him to get caught. He's got a 130-point lead in the championship, but I don't think he'd be too happy with that time. Caps Lock coming round, 2.5 tenths up on his time. Could get him potentially up to P7. Says P8, 31.1. And Picnic's just coming to do his start of his hot lap. As Ryan's coming round, just over 2 tenths up on his time. Up to P3 for him, 30.5, just behind Theo. He's getting really tight at the top. So, Metal Mike coming round. That's the end of his time. He's not going to get higher than P13. Katami's 4 tenths up on his. Can he get up above his teammate? He can't. 31.3. Now it's between the two Haas boys. Theo's invalidated. He's not going to get pole. But can Callum improve in his time and just give a big fish slap to everyone else on the track? Comes round the final corner. And does 30.4 just to solidify. What can Dan Morris do? As he's invalidated, he's not going to improve. Amadi's done. Terry's is done. He's coming into the pits. Cat's invalidated, so he's not going to improve. Caps Lock is invalidated. He's not going to improve. I think the only one left is Picnic, who's got some hidden pace. Drifts around turn 14. Look at the ass on that as he went round that corner. As he comes round turn 17, where will he place? And P12 just above his teammate. Just that one hot lap for him. Don't think he'll be too happy. But it is what it is. As TTV Ryan comes round and crosses the line. As Caps Locker goes in the pit. So Callum takes another pole. And I don't think he's got his all his own way. There's only 3 tenths in it between the top 6. And Terry's, the other one's getting to the 130s with a fantastic qualifying time from him. Yeah, you did well, mate. Until P4, and it's all to play for. It's all about staying in the DRS. I'm guessing it's Theo that's been the 2.247, yeah. So, as I said, Callum takes P1, and Theo joins him on the front row. The Haas boys on the charge. TTV Ryan and TTV Phils, the same names on row 2. Ryan McLean on P5, Amadi P6, Terry's P7 with Caps Lock P8, Catamese P9, and Marty rounding off the top 10. He'll be happy getting that 10th spot. Dan Morris P11, Picnic P12, Cats 13, and Metal Mike staying at the rear. And we'll watch the carnage unfold of the front action. And I've stuck the dog sitting on my leg. I can't move. So drivers now will be sorting out their strategies, tyre strategies, fuel loads, adjusting anything on their car that they need to after the qualifying. For me, I'd go mediums to hards. It's one that, like I said, you will need to stick in the DRS. You don't want to get caught behind. The alternate strategy will be the wrong way to go. I'll be surprised if any drivers do. Pitting around lap 12. It is one about utilising your speed. Drivers will be jockeying for positions, especially down that back straight, reaching speeds of about 215 miles an hour. And be quite interesting to see how this race unfolds and what the drivers need to do. They need to stick to each other like jizz on a teenager's sock. Speaking of jizz, do you want a joke while we're waiting? Why did the sperm cross the road? Because I wore the wrong sock this morning. Let's see what strategies are happening here. So there's only a couple doing the alternate strategy. Callum, the Haas boys doing different outlook to the race, and the two TTVs have collided. Yeah, silly buggers. So yeah, Callum, Ryan McLean and Dan Morris all going for the hards. Catamese, being the ultimate madman he is, starting on the soft, so we'll be looking to try and make advantage of those tyres. That'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. This is a 6.2 kilometre track, anti-clockwise circuit, 17 corners, 11 to the left, 6 to the right. The 2 DRS zones, 2 of them out of the 3 lengthy straights. And as I mentioned, there'll be plenty of overtaking opportunities. Callum leads us round the track as he just heads round turn 10, round Sands Avenue. Theo joins him on the front row. Those Haas boys are on a charge. Ryan doing it at the front. He's having a funny. He's having a funny. Yeah, Haas boys are on a charge. Both doing well at Brazil last week in the special race with this reverse sprint format. It is 50% race after the short quali this week. Standard format. The TTV boys, P3 and P4. Ryan McLean, P5 in the lone Ferrari Amadi. Current championship leader, and as I've mentioned, he's potentially got this in the bag. That'll be difficult to catch. Terry's P7. Let's see if he can stay with the front boys, keep the guys behind him. See if he can, what he needs to do actually is just stay. It's not get the stupid penalties. He gets too many penalties. He ends up losing grid positions at the end. Caps Lock P8 in the lead. Williams for Catamese P9. Let's hope those guys don't collide. They want to get some good points. Marty P10 in the second Aston. As I said, he was aiming for a top 10 and he's got it. Dan P11. Let's see what he can do. Fresh on his new wheel. Picnic P12. Got P2 last week, so he's got some hidden pace. This isn't a reflection of what he can do. Cat's the same. Came back fresh after a big hiatus and he's got some solid form. Whether he likes this track, we shall see. And Metal Mike in the second RB at the rear, and the same for him. Try not to get any penalties, keep it within the white lines as the drivers getting into their grid slots. And it's one of a few tracks that have the grid slots curving round a corner. As we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go. And it looks like the Haas boys have got off well. TTV boys are just following round. Everyone looks like they got away okay. No one's collided. That's good to see. It is a tight S-bend. And there was no big moves. One of the big moves is Theo's got ahead of Callum, who's under threat from TTV Ryan. And Callum's defending for all his might. Ahmadi's got it past Ryan, clean up to P5. And we've got a yellow flag. And Caps Lock is out. Turn 5. BSC is out. We've got an early casualty. And I think everyone's trying. It's always the place on this track. Turn 5. After that, on tap lap 1. I've been involved with that myself. We've already got one casualty. It's just the VSC, which won't mess anyone's strategies up for now. There is a high chance, I think it's a 100% chance of a safety car. And it's in the street track, and no one's got any stupid penalties speeding under the safety car. Has TTV Ryan caught Callum slightly off guard as we're heading down the straight. They're side by side, a little bit of wheel banging. Where's your spatial awareness? Trying to utilise the slipstream. Both of them trying to get the slipstream off Theo. As Callum looks like he might have retaken the lead of the race. He's on the outside. Theo's defending the inside. As Ryan has managed to get ahead, squeezes Callum slightly against the wall, which is putting him under threat from Phil Skills, who's just snuck through. And Theo takes the lead of the race as we're on lap 2, and Catamese is in the pit, so I think he's collided with his teammate, which I mentioned in the formation that could have been an issue. And potentially Catamese trying to be quite aggressive on those soft tyres. He's got himself wing damages going on those hard tyres, and generally it's a strategy anyway where he tries to go on the hard tyres until the end. 24 laps on the hards might be a big feat, and he'll be hoping for a safety car to get himself back into the race. So how's it all settled? Everyone's going single file. Terry's has unfortunately been dropped by the front 6. Pickney's got himself up to P8 from P12, so a good start from him after the first couple of laps. And he'll be closing in on Terry just over a second. DRS is now activated in this lap. As Picnic has got Marty, Dan and Capsule for company. The DRS, well, DRS is strong in this one. Theo will be a sitting duck from all the cars behind. Ryan goes through. Phil Skills goes through. Will Callum be able to go through as well? Oh, just slightly bumps the back of his teammate as the Ferrari and the Aston side by side going through the triple chicane. And a great overtake there from Ryan. Ahmadi is a fantastic driver, and it's very rare you see someone make a move on him like that. He won't be happy, and he'll be trying to make a move back on turn 1. And no better of it. Well, I said I was blocked from view. I've managed to get back ahead of the Ferrari, and now TTV Ryan is in the lead of the race. I think we'll be jockeying for position as Terry's has now joined this DRS train, as Phil Skills now takes the lead of the race. Theo takes a look, but not quite close enough. So we now have a front 7. It's Marty on the outside on turn 5. He's got himself up to P8 ahead of Picnic. Dan and Cat trying to look to capitalise while those two are battling, but they go in situ. It's easy enough to overtake on this track. You've just got to pick your moments. Metal Mike in P12 doing his own race, but it's all points for the RB team. He's representing as Geezer's missing his, I think he's away on holiday. We're heading down long straight again, and now Phil Skills is the sitting duck. As we've got this front 7, any one of these can be on the podium, any one of these can be the winner of this race. As Picnic has retaken P8, TTV Ryan back to the lead of the race. As Callum has, I think he's had a bit of contact, and he's down to P6. I think he's had a little bit of contact, yeah, there's no damage though. And now he's got Terry's all over his rear wing. And Picnic closing in as well. We could have an 11 car train As Dan makes the move on the inside of Marty on turn 1 and 2. Marty on the inside of turn 3 and 4 though. And try and hold the position. Dan leaves him plenty of room. Great driving from those, they're very respectful. Marty has the lead currently. Both have DRS. Dan just pulling ahead slightly. Marty has the inside but has to pull out so he doesn't lose his front wing. Great driving from both of them. And Dan up to P9. The TT boys both ahead, both having a fantastic league debut, the same as Theo last week. There's Ryan, he's at the front 4 now. Can he get back? Other hard tyres just slightly showing their lack of pace at this stage of the race. And a little bit wide. Going into turn 12. There's hampered his traction and it will mean he's under threat from Callum and Terry's behind. Speaking of under threat, here we go again. Phil Skills takes the lead of the race. Can Theo follow him through as well? As Callum does take Ryan McLean. Terry's not quite close enough as for now, and Picnic has joined this little pack. I think he keeps clipping the wall. There's Amity. Those fastest laps pinging. And Amity just settling now and showing his pace, showing why he's the league leader. Dan closing on the Aston and the Red Bull of Cats. To me, he's 18.6 seconds, closing in on Metal Mike as Ryan retakes the position on Callum. Neutralised mid DRS down to turn 5. And the small chicane past MSD sphere. Can you see my face? Can you see my face? No, not this time. I think there's a slight little bit of contact there, or someone's hit the wall. As Theo's managed to get ahead of TTV Ryan. And if these two squabble too much, it would mean that the door will open for Skills to walk away with the lead. You need to stay within that DRS. And it's a front 4 now, 2.5 seconds. P5 is, which Callum takes that position. Terry's has been dropped too. It's a bit of a gap as Marty takes Dan. These two squabbling for positions. Can Cats take Dan as well? As we head down to turn 14. On the inside, great move from Cats. Very, when you've got the inside, you're very, a little bit loss of traction, which Dan did not predict that at all, and very fortunate not to lose his wing. Yeah, you're very tricky not to go run too deep when you're on the inside of turn 14. Great driving from there, and great take from Cats. Skills leading the race. He's got these 3 cars for company. Yeah, Dan's going on. He says his setup's diabolical, so he's probably just doing the best he can. You can see what he can adjust on the car during the race. Doing okay for now, still within that train. Fighting for P9. If they can close in, it'll be fight for P7. Picnic has closed in on Terry's, and we'll be looking to make a move down this straight with the aid of DRS. Terry's has been well on lap 6. Theo taking Ryan. As Ryan taking Theo. And not for a steak dinner. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Amity currently in P4, just biding his time. Saving his ERS, sticking in the DRS train. Callum and Ryan McLean just jostling for position. How she were for now. Terry's keeping Picnic behind. Great driving from the McLaren driver. And Dan and Kat side by side around turn 3 and 4. Again, leaving each other plenty of room. Great driving, very respectful from these two. Raced each other for quite a few seasons as The Red Bull slots behind Dan, trying to aid of the slipstream as well. Stuck behind Marty. He's closing 3 seconds on Metal Mike in the last couple of laps. Just running his own race, and this race will come to him as everyone else pits. Gearbox. Now TTV Ryan. Like shit to a shoe. Theo now retakes the lead of the race. I think Phil Skills will go through as well. Go up to P3 as Dan has taken Marty. Can Amadi follow through as well? There's plenty of changes. Amadi does take P3 and does a similar move to Katz on the last lap and gets himself up to the podium position with a great, I wouldn't say late lunge, but it was at the end of the straight on the inside of turn 14. Great overtake. There's Phil Skills looking in inside turn 1 and 2 on Theo, who will have the inside line of 3 and 4. Theo keeps the position, and Marty and Katz both jumping in the pits and getting off these mediums, both going onto the hards. It's not because of wind changes. Early pit stops, trying to get out the trying to do a bit of an undercut. Great minds think alike. As Katami's coming down the start-finish straight. And we'll just behind Marty and Katz, who've got 6 lap fresher hard tyres. And that has opened the door for Dan, who's closed in on Terry's. Picnic has managed to get past him now and broken out of his DRS. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's Metal Mike, is it? It is Metal Mike who's lost it on the chicane of turn 7 and 8. It's very tricky if you get on the curbs and put that throttle down, and doesn't hold up Marty. Theo's lost a couple of positions down the big vlog, 1.9 kilometres straight, as Phil Skills has got P1. Amadi is up to P2 now. Theo's lost a couple of positions down to P4 out of the podiums. TT Ryan in the Mercedes, great overtake from him. Dan has got himself, who he lost again. I think that might be Metal Mike. But Amadi now up to the lead of the race for the first time today. But I think they'll be jostling for positions. And started P6 as Catamese gets past Metal Mike, so again he's not holding them up. And we've got Terry's now in the pits getting into those hard tyres. As Theo down to P6 now, so from the lead of the race, we've gone from top 4 to top 6 as Ryan McLean and Callum have both joined this fight for the win of the this fight for this lead of the race. Metal Mike saying Katz has jumped in again as he got damage. I think Katz must have had the spin, and that's unfortunate for him. He was going so well. It puts him now at the back of the grid behind Metal Mike. Terry's come out P11. Yeah, so it must have been Katz that I don't know whether they had a bit of contact with Terry's or not, or Marty. Callum up to P2 now. Both Haas drivers making their moves. And we've seen it as Ryan McLean gets above Phil Skills. I have a feeling that's what's happened with Theo. A bit of contact down the start-finish straight. I wonder who, I don't know who that was with, or I didn't see it. And he's out of the race, and that's a safety car. That's a safety car. It was predicted, and so for someone that was potentially jostling for the lead of the race, is out. I'm sure we'll find out. One of the Ryans has had a bit of contact with. So everyone's jumping in the pits now. No matter the strategy, they're going on the other ones. So Amadi, Callum, everyone on the top 7 have just jumped in. Will Marty be going in or continuing? He's continuing round. Will he gain some positions? Potentially ahead of Picnic and Dan. It's just coming out. So Marty slots behind. Cassidy's jumping in again, so he'll be happy to see the safety car. Metal Mike and Cats as well. So everyone will be as they were. How long will the medium tyres last for? Amadi leading the race. It's not the first time we've heard it this season. Currently won 5 races out of the current 8 we've raced, not including the sprint. Callum and P2, these two have been jostling for wins over the last few races. Down between P3 on those mediums, so yes, like I said, it'd be interesting to see how the bit of chatting with this scored. I'm sure if there's anything that needs to be sent to the stewards, it will be. And the safety car will be going around to do another lap. That's the last of the drivers join the pack, so just waiting for Metal Mike and Cats to catch up. TTV boys, both P4 and P5, are jumping in the pits again. Both. No, Ryan McLean, both Ryan's jumping in. So, do they need wing changes, or is it just nice? So, yeah, wing changes for both. So, and both on alternate tyres. So, it'd be interesting to see how they work their way up the back up the pack. So, I'd potentially say. Oh, I don't know. Well, it's anyone's game, isn't it? No one's got any penalties yet, and everybody's strategy's out the window with a safety car. And it'd be hard to call who's going to win this race. You potentially say Ahmadiyya's favourite. Obviously, he's starting at the front, but he's on the hard tyres, and I don't know. I think the medium should last, but it'll be quite tight towards the end. A couple of laps under the safety car always helps. It just depends on the fuel loads, I guess. Oh, so that pit lane then was busier than a one-armed clown making balloon animals at a kid's party. Diana will be leading us away once the safety car comes in. They'll probably give us the announcement at the end of this straight. Safety car. The Aston Martin, that's better. Aston Martin as well, leading the championship with 381 points, but not far behind Mercedes on 314. And as I mentioned, the Haas boys looking to make a late charge. Obviously a bit handicapped now with Theo out of the race. And we're not going round again, are we? You're joking! Oh, of course, still waiting on Ryan to catch up. So going round again, this will help the medium runners a lot. I'll lack it a lot. And fully expected. As Ryan's jumping in the pits again. He's in the pits more than my granddad in the 1930s. He's gonna get mine as long. He's jumping onto the hard though, thinking the mediums won't last that much. There'll be one or two drivers that'll be absolutely licking their lips at their current positions. Picnic getting out to P4 from P12. After P5, I said he'd be happy with this. A P10 and a P5 is even better. Dan Morris P6 managed to work his way up, and he's doing a big push on the mediums. Terry's P7. So he started. P8, so he's benefited from the safety car in the pit stops. And let's see what charge he can do. Potentially a little collision with his teammate at the start of the race. Has cost his teammate and his team some points. And the safety car will be in this lap. Otherwise I'm going to smash Codemasters to bits. Metal Mike P9. Be happy with that running. P10. Safety car is in. And then both the Ryans at P11, P12 will be looking to push until the end. Amadi will be leading us away, waiting for the safety car to go in. So we'll be holding the pack up as much as possible. We can't overtake until the timer line, which will creep up. So it's, I think he'll be going right to the end, right to the last minute. As the safety car is going into the pits now. He's buying his time, and he's gone. He's caught Callum a little bit off guard. He's under threat from Phil Skills, and Picnic has to defend from Phil Skills. And no one's maybe able to move quite yet, as Metal Mike goes quite wide. And we've had a collision. We've had a collision. Katz and Ryan. And that's Ryan McLean. So tight when you're trying to push around there, as Katami's managed to get past Terry. He's down to turn 5. Great overtake from him, and utilising those medium tyres. And like before, you're going to want to stick with everyone in the DRS. This is anyone's game. And I think there's been a bit of a potential collision with TTV Ryan as well. It depends who's got damage. It looked like there's quite a bit of carbon fibre flying off. Katz has lost an end plate. So is Ryan McLean. And I think so has TTV Ryan. Trying to push their way through. As Amadi is under threat. The DRS isn't activated until the next lap. But Katami's getting past Dan Morris as well. You can see in the background slightly. And up to P6. We've got a train all the way down to Terry's in P8. Yellow flag. And Ryan McLean has crashed out on the straight. And I hope that wasn't on purpose. We do ask people to retire in the pit lane, as Phil Skills is now into the pits. Picnic in the pits as well. It is a VSC. It is a full safety car. It's a full safety car. The game lies. The game lies. So, who else are we going to see here go in the pits? Skills, Picnic, Terry's all making the call. Will we see anyone else jump in? It's still quite tight, and we've still got 11 laps to go. Dan mentioned about the people cutting the corners. Unfortunately, it's kind of the same as kind of like the issue with Portuguese last week, where we got the 10-second penalty and the game given the penalty. If the game doesn't penalise him for it, how can we penalise him for it? If you want to send it in, you can do, and the stewards can have a discussion about it. But it's yeah, it's always been one of those discussion points where, yeah, if the game doesn't penalise it, then what's going to do? As Terry's is going, oh, you know, cut the corner there. Final chicane. Has he got? No, he hasn't. Did he have to give the position back by any chance? Here, car's slowing down. Jostling for positions. Amity and Metal Mike going into the pits then. And switching on to the different tyres. So he'll be looking. Amity looks like he's having a wing change as well. Metal Mike going onto those penalties. Getting onto those fresh tyres, sorry. So Amity will, considering after the last safety car started at the front, he will start now at the back. So everyone else choosing for track position. Callum will lead us away on this safety car restart. Cassidy's now up to P2. Marty Style, the only one on the hards, and staying on them. He might benefit from the drivers around him. Callum's absolutely shitting a brick with Katamisa behind him on the restart. Dan Morris up to P4, he'll be quite chuffed with that. Considering he's got that setup issues. Phil Skills back up to P5. Managed to work his way up the grid and slightly and around the pit stop. Picnic up to P6. TCD Ryan up to P7. Terry's now P8 after his pit stop. Cat's P9. Now Mike 10, and now, like I said, Amity at the rear. The safety car should be in at this end of this lap. It's going to be a late call. It's going to be a late call. Surely it's got to be in. Oh, it's in. It's a late call. So Callum will be leading us away, and he'll be holding Katamise as much as possible. Katamise will be putting his foot down, burning his ERS. Be interesting to see how much Katamise pushes and how much Callum defends. He's going nice and smooth, and he goes. Katamise was not caught off guard at all. Marty's gone with him. Dan caught slightly off guard. CT Ryan trying to get past Phil Skills, but has got nowhere to go because he's got Picnic right beside him. But as I look on the inside, trying to force his way through, just left just enough room from Picnic and managed to get himself up to P6. Marty Style having a look at Katamise, not quite close enough. He's on the inside of Picnic, he loses plenty of room. Zamadia now up to P9, making some easy moves on Metal Mike and Katsu. Probably knows that he's not their fight. And Terry's will be looking in his rear view mirror and will be screaming like a bitch. Callum already broke free from Katamise, who's holding up the pack behind, all the litter. And having to go over the curve a bit, which has compromised his exit. We've just seen a end plate, I think, go flying off. Whose car was that? Katamise is going to be under threat from Marty. He's not quite close enough to make the move yet. Phil Skills, can he make the move on Darren? She goes side by side, goes up to P4. And making use of to the slipstream. As I look on the inside with his alongside his teammate. So brave from both Mercedes boys, and very good driving not to make contact. DRS is now enabled. Terry's on the inside, leaving plenty of room for Amadou, who goes on the outside of turn 1. And Terry's again probably knows that Amadou is not his battle for today, but we'll try sticking his DRS. And Katani's close in. And the guys behind work together to close in on Callum. Katani's is weakest in this section of the track with his setup. Has already lost 3/10 on the space of a corner. And the guys behind will want to get past as quick as they can. He's like a cork in a bottle. Already lost a second on Callum. Katani's is going to be under threat from the guys as Marty makes the move on Katani's. He gets himself up to P2. Picnic getting past Dan Morris up to P6. How effective will this as Dan try? No, he's holding that position himself. Side by side. Marty's going to be under threat from Katani's. Armady making a move on Picnic. Marty's lost a couple of positions, those hard tyres. He's squeezed against the wall from Ryan. He had nowhere to go, and Armady, his teammate, slipped through as well. Terry's up to P7, getting past Picnic. Cat's now behind his teammate. Dan Morris down to P10, just getting squeezed out and off the line. Phils has managed to get past Katani's, who try and defend the outside but can't really do anything. Phils will have the inside line, but will have the under threat from the DRS, and he'll be trying to close down Callum, who's broke 3 for nearly 3 seconds now. All 3 drivers very close together. Katami's retaking the position inside of turn 5, runs deep, turns braking time, has lost a couple of positions, and he's compromised himself. Phil Skills now has got P2, TT's round down to P3. Oh, from Katami's going too deep, Amadine out to P4 from the back. His teammate P6, but still in contention for the podium positions, all the way down to Dan Morris in P10. One slight little incident and you'll capitalise easily. They're running down the back straight now. Picnic getting past Cats, up to P8. Armady making moves. Can he make a move on Till Skills as well? Both going to try and get through as they're going 3 wide down to turn 14. The Mercedes has the inside. The RB tries to follow him through as well. And just a bit of bumping wheels as everyone tries to just avoid each other. As Armady keeping P3. The TTV round behind is going to have a look on the inside of turn 1. It's all good single file. We've got a pit stop as Cats, I think, has got damage. He does. I did see an end plate go flying off earlier. And Cat's the one that has to yield. He's going on a set of softs. Can he get himself a fastest lap? We shall see. Marty down to P9 now on those hards, and a bit compromising him. He's Picnic on the outside of Dan Morris going around turn 6. And can he make that move? Dan's got the inside line and will defend that, and he has. Brilliant driving from Dan. Great defence. Still sticking with P2 and down. Can be anybody's podium this. Currently Callum's 5.5 seconds and absolutely blown away. Managed to get himself out of that DRS, and it'll be down to him now if he loses this race. Storming drive from him. What's Perez doing on that screen? He's an absolute bint. Phil Skills. What can he do to defend? Nothing much really. Armadino up to P2. Can PTT Ryan follow Armady past his counter I don't know what I'm trying to say. His fellow TTV driver, let's say that. Picnic retaining position on Dan now. Dan managed to hold him off as much as possible, but Picnic making the move down to turn 14. Dan right on his gearbox though. We'll want to retake that position. Terry's still staying with the podium runners. Come on, Terry's. if anyone, I want to see anyone on the podium, it would be Terry's. Come on, Terry's. DRS is open. Picnic tries to make a move, but a great defence from Terry's. He loses a bit of traction off the exit turn 5. Let's open the door from Picnic. And now that's the commentator's cursing it. Sorry. We're in London, aren't we? Sorry. Terry's down to P7, but we'll try and stick with him as much as possible. Catanese has now been dropped out of the DRS. He's got older lap tyres. And will not have DRS, which will open the door for Picnic and Terry's to make the move. Amadeus broken free from the TTV boys as well. So can he consolidate himself? P2 on the podium. Phil Skills making the move on Ryan, getting himself up to P3. Terry's is looking on Picnic on the inside, just not quite close enough. And everybody is so close still. And Dan Morris, what's happened to Terry? He's lost a couple of positions. I think he's gone a bit offline on the exit of turn 16. And he's compromised him as Picnic makes the move on Catanese up to P5. Marty on the inside, Dan Morris went really, really deep. Don't think he meant to do that, and almost knocked Dan Morris's wing off. Don't think Dan would have appreciated that. I don't think it was intentional. He is, of course, on the hard, and Marty doesn't defend too much there from Dan. Great overtake from Dan. And Terry's looking intense himself as well. Picnic, Catanese have joined the P3 race. Any one of these four can get the last stunt on the podium. As Armadillo is now pushed away and trying to close in on Callum, 3.5 seconds behind. Armadillo is on the fresher tyres. Picnic, just pushing Ryan down the straight. TTV Ryan does not have DRS either, so he's going to be under threat from Picnic and potentially Catanese. As he defends as much as he can, but leaves plenty of room for Picnic on the inside line of turn 14. Terry's making a move on Marty. Can he make a move on Dan? Tries to make a late move, but doesn't. Great awareness from Terry's. Great overtake up to P8. Ryan following Picnic round turn 17 now. We'll try and make a move on turn 1. P4. And we'll have DRS on Phil Skills. Marty has jumped into the pits, and I think he'll be going to a set of softs and trying to do a fastest lap. He's already got a couple this season, actually. And can he get another one to his name? Nothing really to lose for him as Terry's makes a move on Dan Morris up to P7. Cat's getting past Marty side by side, and I think if Marty will want to do a fastest lap attempt, he won't want Cats for company, sorry. So he might drop a little bit back or try and stay with him and use his DRS, and that will aid in that fastest lap attempt. Armadillo closed in, now just over 2 seconds behind. This may go down to the wire. It wasn't all done and dusted as it seemed, and neither is his P3. Phil Skills under threat from Picnic. He'll try and make an immediate overtake and get himself up to P3. And a really poor qualifying for him, but he only had that one run, and Phil Skills lost a couple of places now. Dan Morris going back up to P7 with the aid of DRS. And these boys are not quite close enough to Catanese, who's sticking with the P3 attempt. Might make a late move with a couple of laps to go. And Armadillo is flying, absolutely flying. Now just over a second behind. And this is showing why he's the championship leader. Picnic up to P3. Can he hold the boys behind him off? And he's in DRS. Callum's tyres just started wearing a bit too thin. Armidi's on 5-lap pressure tyres. And it's going to be a fight between these two as Marty's made the move past Cats now. And I had a bit of DRS off Cats down the DRS straight. Can Marty get this fastest lap? Go on, Marty. I'm rooting for you. Amidi now running down the back straight with DRS. I don't think he's close enough this time. Well, he's got 2 laps to go. He might be playing the tactical game and wait until the end. And so we'll call him if that's the case. And saving his DRS. His ERS, sorry. Terry's making a move up to P7 with DRS. These two battling again. They seem to find each other on track every single race. Katamise has been dropped now from the leading pack, and his save for a podium place I think will be out the window now. So it's between Picnic and the TTV boys. Everyone's lights are flashing, so I think they're all absolutely spunking the DRS. Marty, do it. Can he do it? He does. Marty's got the fastest lap with a 32.7, and we'll get him himself on the results board. Little wins. And an extra point for the Aston Martin team. And he had to do it really. He was dropping down the board on those hard tyres. And he'll be looking to close down Metal Mike. Can he do 9 seconds in the space of a couple of laps? It'll be difficult. And it'll be season best result for Metal Mike, P9. Absolutely chuffed for him. As we're on the penultimate lap. The penultimate run down the back straight. Armidi's got DRS open. He's got a yellow flag. Who's got the yellow flag? It's Cats. He's lost traction coming out of turn 9. Don't know if he's got any damage. It's kind of summed up his race for today. But P11 is still a decent result for the Red Bull team. P3, P11. And Dan will get the honour of getting the potential one and only penalty of the race. Oh, Dan. I thought we were going to go for a clean sweep. And what that will do is keep Terry's in P7. Which I might be wrong. Let me have a quick look. Terry. He's currently P4 in the standards. It won't be his best result of the season, but it'll be. He's got quite a few P7s already, so it'll be a consistent finish for him. Callum comes round turn 9. Armidier pushing him round like a trolley round Tesco, and will be making his move. I don't know how much Callum can do to defend it, and same for Picnic as well. We'll see as we go round turn 12. Callum does an immediate defence and pulls out of, tries to get to Amity out of the slipstream, but Amity is closing in. DRS will be open. Absolute storming drive here from Amity. Callum can't do anything about it. All he's got is his DRS to fight with. And I think he's going to have to concede and applaud the winner of the race. It'll probably go down, potentially down to the wire, as TT Ryan gets himself up to P3. Picnic tries to defend the inside line, but can't. As they're going down, Amity takes the win of the race. Congratulations to him, his 6th win of the season. Callum takes P2 with just over a 10th behind. TT Ryan will take P3 for now on his debut on Lights Out League Racing. Picnic P4 from P12. Brilliant from him. TTV Phil Skills P5. Catamise P6. Terry Reds will take P7 on penalties. Dan Morris P8. He'll be happy with that. P9 for Metal Mike. And he'll be absolutely chuffed with his best result of the season. Marty P10 and that fastest lap. And then Cats, unfortunate for him, will go P11, but still a points result. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dean gives Amadi driver of the day. And of course, it's a driver's decision. They get a vote in the Discord. But he'll be definitely one that'll be in contention. And there he goes, doing his rudimentary flip. Hope he doesn't break an ankle. But he doesn't. He climbs to the top step and gets his trophy for Vegas. Go break out that champagne. It's free if you're gambling. And he does take that race win from P6 on the grid as well. He did pit and was at the back and has managed to storm his way through. Callum just so close. But Amadi utilising that DRS on the last lap. Same as Ryan getting himself at P3 on that podium on his debut at Lights Out League Racing. Picnic so close to him, but a great race all the same. Phil Skills, great result from him for his first race with us. P5, Katami's P6. Quite clean race from him, all that's said and done. In comparison, Terry's Red, P7. Absolutely chuffed for him as well. And he didn't get any penalties. Dan Morris, P8 from P11. He'll be happy. Metal Mike, 14th to 9th. Brilliant result from Metal Mike. Absolutely love it. Marty Style, P10 and fastest lap with a 32.7. Cats rounding off the finishers in P11. Ryan McLean, Theo and Capslock are all unfortunately DNFing. That's it for this week. Eventful race. Divided track, but next week is a favourite of a lot of drivers. We will be at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for race 10. And I think I can potentially try and work out, but I potentially think that Amadi has won the championship already. But that will be confirmed on next week's stream. My name is Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.